everyone. Welcome to the 6th episode of All of Our Appearances Have Been Canceled, the Not So Pageanty Pageant interview show. My dog is walking around all over the floor, so this may topple in a moment, but we'll see. I'm especially excited for today's episode because today we have our first title holder who's been outside of the Mrs. America system. Also, we have our first actual pageant director. So I'm not even going to attempt to fully introduce her. She has to do that herself because she's so incredible. She has so much going on. On a personal note, she's very sweet and patient and gracious. So Jackie, hi, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me on your show. This is just a great opportunity. One that I was willing to wait for, and that we finally were able to get together after much, back and forth with scheduling. But here we are, and I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you. So Jackie, like I kind of alluded to for the people, you are a title holder from a different system outside of the Mrs. America organization. So can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes. This year, I am actually going to the national pageant for Next Level pageantry. That was supposed to be in June. However, with everything going on, that's been delayed till October. I am a lifetime ambassador for American Women of Service because I was a national title holder for them last year. And I miss that. Once you get the pageant bug and it bites you, you're in. Yeah. I'm also a local pageant title holder for reading pageantry, and that one was something I knew I had to do because it all focuses on literacy, and with being a teacher and working with children, that was something that it just grabbed me and sucked me in.
That's amazing. And so you are a pageant director as well, correct?
Yes, I actually am the pageant director for Tiara's Loving Children, which is a special needs pageant company. And I'm also the Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware state pageant director for USA National Miss, which has been really interesting and really fun. And I've met so many wonderful young girls in the pageant system who've even been very insightful, and they have taught me so much just being at the young age that they are.
Wow. So before we get into the official questions, just first of all, I mean, you're a teacher, you're a mom, you have 4 kids, right? You're a director, you're a title holder. This dog is going to topple everything. Marvin, truly, how the heck do you find the time to do all of this and be so nice?
It's so funny because people always ask, like, you're always on the go. How do you do it? Like, how are you managing? Because I also own my own private company as a private practice for mental health and children, and a tutoring center and things like that. Everything I do is children based, which again makes my life honestly easier because everything is just circumferences. Like, everything comes together. Everything I do just wraps up in itself. And I love what I do. So like, none of it to me is work. I get so excited to do things with the kids and show them new stuff. And, I'm a scout leader as well. And I help out with a lot of other organizations, especially Role Models International, which is definitely big in the pageantry company, but outside as well. So I have a lot of girls under me in Pennsylvania that I lead for that. I am also the Pennsylvania chapter director for Society of Pageant Women. So that's something new and coming up, which is an amazing opportunity for women. It's just all about making people feel better. That's what, to me, pageantry is to begin with. So when I got bit by it, I'm like, this is everything I love to do anyway. Like, why not?
For sure. Do you sleep at all, ever?
People ask that a lot too sometimes.
Okay.
And even when I do keep like a notepad by my bed, and when I get an idea, I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Well, you are incredible. And honestly, I wish we had more time to hear more about your story, but we need to get moving. Because you're so busy. We're on the clock here. So let's go ahead and get into it. So just to give you an idea of how this is going to work, I'm going to ask you a number of different questions across 5 different categories. Pageanty things, hey you, which is just questions about you and your opinions. There'll be a guest question. There is the just silliness category, which is just kind of crazy. And then we finish with a quick fire round that I change for every guest, and I'll tell you what your category is when we get there. Sound okay?
Sounds great.
All right, good. Let's see here. So, starting with pageanty things. This first question is a two-part question. It'll count for your first two. And I want you to kind of think both from somebody who's competed in pageants, somebody who's watched pageants, and also as a director. What do you think makes for a really incredible pageant experience for contestants?
Definitely the director, the organization, how well organized the event itself is. I mean, for me, that's what it is. If you have a director who's enthusiastic and excited to have you there and really shows that, they believe in this system as well, that to me means a lot, because if they're really not excited about it,
Yeah.
why should you be,
Yeah, certainly, certainly. Okay, here's the second part. What do you think makes for a really incredible pageant experience for the audience?
Interaction. I think it's very important for things to be very interactive, different categories performed on stage, keeping it very consistent and following, the constant system and a flow. Because once it goes too long, you're losing people. And it's sad because it's not fair to the girls that come towards the end. They don't get that that they deserve.
For sure, for sure. All right, excellent. Thank you. My third question is my favorite question because it starts with my favorite picture of you that I find on your social media. So this is really fun because I get to stalk queens, all the time. And I always preface this by saying, I mean, this is a picture that you have shared to the public, so don't worry. So I'm going to bring this up, but really the question is around, what's going on in this picture? Can you tell us a little bit about what's up? And so, Jackie, here's my favorite picture of you. So what is this about?
This is an awesome picture for many reasons. Well, this was last summer. It was when I was handing over my title to somebody else in the American Women of Service pageantry system. So we were outside getting pictures. And that little girl behind me is my niece, who, as of last year, started getting the spark about pageantry. Didn't know anything about it, And American Women of Service has what they call the Young Miss American Women of Service. It's just a program to get them introduced to pageantry. Well, we got her involved, and she was able to come for her first pageant weekend with me.
Oh, awesome.
And that was it was a great weekend. And ever since then, we've been doing pageants together now. And that was only not even a year ago. But we were just having a good time. And that's what it should be like, having fun, enjoying each other. We were out with a bunch of other women getting pictures done, and everybody was just enjoying themselves.
Mm-hmm. So what prompted you to get into pageantry initially?
That's a deep one. I started my pageantry in 2014, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
I went to and was a makeup artist back then, doing a makeup at an event for the NFL cheerleaders, NBA, things like that.
You literally do everything. I don't even, I don't know. Sorry to interrupt, but I just had to throw out there, like, what the heck?
I want to know everything. I'm like a sponge. I need to know it all.
That's awesome.
So I went to this event, and there was a lady with a pageant table and crowns and, all the fun stuff. And I went over and I'm like, oh, I want to try this crown on. So I put it on. I'm like, oh, I feel so pretty, blah, blah, blah. And I was talking to the lady. She owns a dress shop in Jersey, and her daughter was into pageantry. So we got to talking, and I'm like, yeah, but I can't do pageantry. Like, I'm not the typical pageant girl. Like, I have a lot of curves. I have some junk in my trunk. Like, that's it. And she's like, no, they have pageants for like girls with, bigger sizes, things like that. So I went home and I thought about it, and then I mentioned it to some people, and they're all like, well, Jack, you really shouldn't because you're too fat to be in a pageant. Yeah. So, and my whole life, that's always been my stereotype, is that I've been bigger. And yeah, there's no lying about it. There's no hiding it, for sure. And that's okay. In my life, I've learned to embrace it and be who I am. So I said, you know what? heck with them all. I'm going to do it and I'm going to see what happens. And I'm just going to enjoy it for me. And I went and I got bit by the bug, and I've been doing it since. I've been in multiple systems and title holders for a few of them already, which has been quite an experience. And it motivates me to push myself to be better in so many levels and not focus so much just on the physical, but the mental aspect, the being a better person every day, and working on my speaking, because sometimes my public speaking is not the greatest.
I love that. That's awesome. It's a really inspirational story. And I think even, I mean, at the Mrs. level, I really like it because it is about every type of woman just bringing their own selves and their own gifts to the table. And, we're not kind of the young, like trying to win scholarship per se type of people. We're like women who have established ourselves, and now it's kind of like a gift to ourselves to really just try to showcase that and help other people with the gifts we've been able to develop over time. So I'm happy you joined, and I'm happy you're here. Let's move on. So now we're going to the Hey You category. These are just some random questions, just all about you. So my first question is, what would a world full of clones, full of you, be like? So Jackie clones.
Woo! God bless everybody. A lot of busy people.
Yes.
I would like to think that the children in the world at that time would be being better served than they are now. Through educational and through their environments and the exposure that they're having to things in their environment. So that would be my ultimate.
That's beautiful. And I believe that would be true. I mean, based on people you're able to touch now, if we were all Jackies, I think this world would be running perfectly well. All right. So whether in a pageant interview or a job interview, what's the weirdest or craziest question you've ever been asked?
I always find the question, what's unique about you, an interesting question, because I've had that in both types of interviews. And I think what's unique about myself depends on the other people, because everybody has unique qualities.
Yeah.
But different people bring out those unique qualities.
Yeah. True.
So it's always hard for me to pinpoint what's unique about me.
I'd say a lot. I think there's a lot unique about you.
That doesn't happen too much. Okay.
All right, good. Before I ask you this question, I'm going to give you background on what inspired this, but also share some information with the people. We graduated high school together, which, not many people would know who happen to be watching this. But luckily, I mean, it wasn't even that long ago.
No, totally not.
We're just recently out of high school. So, so yeah, this is like yesterday. So this question is, who were your teenage celebrity crushes at the time? I guess this will kind of date us, frankly.
Yeah. My celebrity crushes. Freddie Prinze Jr. He was definitely a cutie patootie. Still is, actually.
He is, actually. Hasn't changed much, frankly.
Very cute. Let's see. Celebrity. I would say he was pretty much the one that stuck out to me. I didn't really get too involved in the Hollywood because I knew I couldn't have them. So
you were the smart one. I was the one with like a whole wall of Justin Timberlake, like covering my wall. It was obnoxious.
Well, Lance Bass did have my heart for a little period of time.
Yeah. Okay. Now this guest question is kind of related to us going to high school together because, sorry, I'm just so afraid my dog is going to knock everything over. He's partially blind. He's geriatric, so he's kind of all over the place. But anyway, this is the guest question, and this comes from a fellow CEC alum. And I actually forgot about this until literally last night. All three of us were on that European trip in high school when we went to I don't know, 5 countries in 10 days, and it was a whirlwind. So this question comes from Lindsay Carter,
Oh
my
my
lifelong
God.
friend. Yeah. And so I'm going to read the exact thing she wrote because I won't be able to paraphrase this appropriately. Lindsay says this. It seems like Jackie devotes so much of her time to being giving and full of positivity. What self-care practices would she recommend to maintain that capacity to love others selflessly?
Wow, that was deep. What self? You have to do what you love. You have to do what you're passionate about. If you love everything that you do and that you're involved in, that in itself is your self-care. Like I don't get up every day and I'm like, oh, I dread everything I do. I dread my, service work, or I'm doing this for this person. I do everything I want for me. What makes me happy, as long as it is a positive thing to help other people, not like a selfish, like, yeah, I'm just going to go get pampered because that's all about me. Now,
Yeah.
it's got to benefit other people, but it's got to be something that you love. And I love helping the children. So to me, that's in itself is like therapy, After I work a session with some of my kids, I leave there and I'm like, I am so revived and I'm so full of like energy. There's days that are rougher, but for the most part,
Sure.
yes, as long as
So
you're making.
when you do get to relax and just have some time to yourself, do you have any favorite activities?
I like to scrapbook. That is a big thing I like to do, and I do enjoy that. I'm a crafter. I like to craft and make things. Yeah,
The Jackie of all trades is the official title of this episode. All right, so we're moving right along to just silliness.
Okay.
All right. So if you were transported 300 years into the future, but you didn't have any technology on you, I'm sorry, not the future, the past.
Okay.
You're from the future. So you're in the past, you don't have any technology on you, and you don't have any, futuristic clothes. How would you convince them that you are from the future?
And I don't have any futuristic clothes on?
No, let's say you're wearing whatever potato sack they're wearing.
Oh boy.
You have to convince them you're from the future.
Well, I'm sure if I go off and tell them all the things that are in the future and, the way technology has advanced, that in themselves, they're going to think I'm bonkers. Just the way life has changed, and I'm sure by the way I'll be talking will be different, and the way, first of all, as a woman, I'll be expressing myself. I don't know if that's exactly silly or not, but it'll be definitely something that'll intrigue them as to, where does she come from?
That's actually a really interesting point. So very good. If you ever find yourself in that situation, I think you can accurately convince them all.
I'll do my best.
You'll do great. All right. So now we're in the last category. It's the quick fire challenge.
Okay.
And I noticed from going through your social media to prepare for this that you have a boxer,
Yes,
right? You have a dog. I have a boxer as well. That's the old man that's been kind of walking around terrorizing it. So I went with a dog themed category. And these are all dog puns. So I'm going to kind of start the dog pun, and I want you to fill in the blank, just seeing if you can guess what the dog pun would be.
Okay.
Okay, so my dog hates the rain. He doesn't want to step on a blank. What could that possibly be?
The dog doesn't like the rain. Might stop it. It's a dog pun. Oh wow.
So how about this? I'll give you the answer to this one. So then the next three, you kind of know what I'm thinking.
Oh.
Poodle. So my dog hates the rain. He doesn't want to step in a poodle.
Duh.
Duh. All right, so now you have the idea of where we're going with this. My dog's not fat, he's just a little.
Husky.
Yes. Okay. My dog's favorite treat at the movies is.
Popcorn.
Yeah, popcorn. You're good. All right, here's the last one. My dog's so popular that the blank took his picture.
That's a dog. Is that the dog's so popular that the blank took his picture?
All right, it's going to be the same answer, but I'll give you a different example. It might make it easier. My dog is a celebrity, so the blank follow him around.
Paparazzi.
Paparazzi, yay! Good job.
Thank you.
So good, so skilled. Jackie of all trades. You know the dog puns. You do the makeup. You're the director. You got it all going on. All right, Jackie. Well, I'm going to let you go. I know you're busy. Thank you so much for talking to me. I think this is well worth the wait. I wish we had so much more time. I haven't seen you since high school, which was like, 2 years ago. So, it's been too long. All right. Well, I will stop our recording, but I do want to say bye to you after. So don't you hang up yet. Okay.
You got it.
All right. Bye, Jackie. Thank you so much.